Okay, so to start off the Orochi guide, I'm going to start by showing you all the chains that Orochi has. So to start off, we have light, light, light. We have light, heavy, light, light, heavy, heavy, light, light, heavy, light, heavy, and heavy, heavy. So now we're going to go over Orochi's recovery dodge. And it works something like this. So heavy, heavy, dodge. Heavy, heavy, dodge. So you see, whenever you use it the right way, you can either create pressure on your opponent or create some distance. Not that much distance, but something like this. See? Now I'm going to teach you how you should use the recovery dodge. When you're in a normal fight, try to use chains like the double top light and the heavy, or the double top light into light. And you see, you can get right back in their face, so you can keep on going for more, or you can just back up, get your distance. Or you can use it like this when they're out of stamina. Heavy, heavy. Alright, so when they're out of stamina, they'll just be eating plenty of chip damage. And it will be pretty taxing on their health. Okay, so another way to use your Storm Rush is when your opponent has just a speck of health. Use your recovery dodge to go into your Storm Rush and just let it rip. So for the first question, we have Outcast, and he says he's an Orochi main that learned how to deflect, and he lost the ability to parry. So I'm going to teach you what to do right now. Okay, so now that you're here, what you want to do is go to your opponent settings, custom moveset. When you go to custom moveset, put it on lights and put it on the zone attack. Alright, and then just practice parrying this way. Just like this. Okay, so now we have Kronk. And he's a Rep 11 Orochi that wants to learn how to practice his deflex. And it's pretty much the same way you practice your parries. You go here, you go to your zones and lights, and you just deflect it. Sometimes you'll dodge early, but that's okay. You'll get the hang of it. Okay, and that's pretty much how you should practice your deflect. So now we have Ellis Hurley that wants to know how to beat opponent's type armor. And as you can see here, you just stop them by parrying their first lightning chain. They can't even get into the chain attacks, but now once you start parrying their lights, they might start going for heavies. So try to wait it out sometimes after you parry a couple of lights. They're not dumb. Well, some of them are, and they'll just only throw lights. But you gotta make the read. That's how you should fight somebody with hyper armor. Deflecting them, it's pretty risky, because sometimes you can chain your deflects. So to do, if the raider does is light into two side heavies, see, you can't get nothing off of that. Your deflect won't work because the heavy's so slow. Can't get it off of that. You can get a guard break if you dodge the heavies, but you can't just light spam the raider, or you're just gonna eat stuff like see that? You can't light spam them. So now we got RF Phantom, and he wants to know, other than style, what's the point of deflecting? Because he thinks parrying is just more consistent, which it is, because watch this. You get 50 damage off of that, but if I deflect his light, he can hyper on me and he can take out almost all my health. So watch this. Heavy. It didn't recover enough to block that E2 heavies, but if you just parry the light, just get an easy 35 damage. But sometimes it's just cool to stop people. Just like that. Okay, Eunice. Now, he wants to know how to counter Warlord, Lawbringer, Hitokiri, and Conquer as Orochi. So, this is a pretty tough one. But, let's start off with Warlord. Alright, so to counter Warlord, you want to parry his starting attacks. His heavies or his lights, try to predict it. Don't always go for light parry. Try to predict his zone, deflect that or parry that for some easy damage. Whenever he starts doing his headbutt or guard break mix up, just try to predict it. Think of it like rock, paper, scissors. Another thing to do is to definitely parry the chain lights. But if you start parrying it, they might chain the light into heavy, so beware of that and parry the heavy for some easy damage. Beating Warlord's a lot of prediction, but with some practice you'll get it down. Another thing to do when you're fighting a Warlord is to try to bait his full start. You can do this by going to your Storm Rush, fitting the guard break. Sometimes they will go in full stance and then throw a zone or they're heavy, so be ready to deflect that. And another way is to whiff a light, so backwards light into heavy into feint the guard break. And they're going to try to all stance it most of the time, a good one will. And that's what you should do when you're fighting a Warlord. Now, for a Lawbringer, they're going to show no mercy on you. They might act nice in the beginning, but they're Lawbringer main, so don't trust them. Alright, so keep your block top most of the time and try to parry the side lights. And you could even try to deflect the side lights. For the shove, it's easy to dodge, but try to react to that in the guard break. But it's hard to get damage off of it, because sometimes Lawbringers, they can block the light after you dodge it, or they can even parry it. A good one can. Another thing you should do when fighting a Lawbringer is to option select his heavies, his unblockable heavies. But don't do it too many times. Just try to do it every once in a while so they won't catch on. And sometimes you can even bait them into a guard break. So like if they do unblockable, do a feint a heavy and to guard break, because maybe they'll try to parry the zone if they're really good. And those are my tips on beating a Lawbringer. Okay, now Conqueror. These fights are pretty tough. You gotta play super slow and you can't let them get in your head with their 50-50s. So you gotta dodge their bashes, parry the chain lights. They're gonna option select with their zone a whole lot because it's super safe, so parry that as much as you can to get the free top light. Try to bait them into their full stance. Don't be afraid to throw lights, they're not afraid to turtle you. So, see, try to bait out their zone by feinting heavy. They'll try to option select and you can parry the zone. Things like that. Here's just another example of how you should counter a Conqueror when you're fighting them. So let's see, try to deflect their chain lights. Use your recovery dodge to keep distance. I tried to go for deflect on that zone, but ended up getting the guard break instead. So these are just some things you should do. Okay, so when fighting Hitokiri, don't let them start their chains. Try to parry or deflect the starting light. Try to catch their parry attempts if they're parry happy with the heavy feinted GB. You can also try to option select their unblockable heavies if you have to. Safer than just getting guard broken and eating a whole heavy of damage. When they start doing their kick, try to dodge early, like it's the level 1 kick, and then after you dodge the first one, then try to wait because they might try to feint the guard break the next time. Another thing, you don't want to let them get into the chain when you're fighting as Orochi because their variable time heavy is pretty bad for you. If you do see Hitokiri trying to go for the variable time heavies, better just to block them. and try to wait for that light that they usually chain into for that easy parry, easy damage. Try to bait them into throwing attacks if they're not throwing anything at you by using your Storm Rush, or try to do the light heavy into dodge using recovery dodge to get some damage. And those are my tips for Hitokiri. Now, should use a light or heavy deflect? Well, light deflect would be best for most situations, but if your opponent chains into another attack like right here, then you can use your heavy deflect to dodge out of it into another deflect to get your damage without taking any damage. And that's probably when you use light. Now, when should you parry or deflect? If you're having a hard time deflecting lights, like if you're fighting a raider, and if you keep on deflecting and you keep on hit by his hyper armor, then start parrying the light instead, because he's going to keep on punishing you for going for the light deflect. So parry it, and you'll still get your damage and you'll be safe, and then you can still chain into your combos. So we got Awkward and Savage here asking what are some combos with Orochi. So for the regular combo, you should probably start off with a top light, heavy, back up, storm rush, heavy, dodge forward, heavy, feint, guard break, back up. Alright, so that's one combo you could possibly use. Here's something if you don't want to be punished all the time. So something like this. Okay, so yeah, I'm using a lot of recovery dodge. Always keep that into your combos. Also, something else you can do is when you do the top light into side heavy, dodge forward, put your guard up, right? When you put your guard up, they can assume another top light. No, do a zone. Usually that will catch them off guard. Another good combo to start off with is the top light, side light. Try to whiff some lights inside your combos instead of just doing this. Don't do this. It's easily blocked. Definitely easily parried. Only do it like maybe once a whole fight. Only do that like once a whole fight. See how slow that is. It only worked really for Berserker, and Berserkers can easily be parried as well. So just make sure when you're doing stuff, try to whiff it instead, like this. And delay it a little bit, back up if you need to. Whenever you do, when you whiff the top light, don't do this. If you do this, and then their opponent's basically gonna see that as a free parry. So when you accidentally whiff it on accident, chain to a side, like this, and then maybe a heavy, feint a guard break, maybe they go for a parry. Or you could even do a whiff side light and top heavy, guard break. Maybe they'll think you whiffed on accident. So stuff like that. You just gotta get in your opponent's head, try to chain your zone in there, something like this. It works pretty good. Just don't do it that many times or you're gonna get parried or deflected pretty easily. And those are some combos with Orochi. Just make sure you chain your attacks with your recovery dodge, go keep the pressure, and know when to back up. And those are some things you should do with Orochi. Alright, Sergio PM. So you're having problems with countering Ibushi's Viper's Retreat. We'll just go to Training Grounds, make it to where she only does Viper's Retreat, and just start off with blocking her attack like this. And once you start blocking it pretty consistently, as soon as you see the attack, right, move your guard in the block direction and press heavy, but do it exactly when you move it. So do something like this, and it'll be an easy parry. So just remember, if you can block an attack, you can parry it. Okay, so another thing to remember when fighting Ibushi is to use your recovery dodge to stay close to her. Always dodge forward to her so she can not get away from you. And you don't always have to dodge, just walk, just walk close to her. So you can try to walk backwards, but keep walking, dodging close to her, use your recovery dodge, keep the combos going, keep her guessing. And that's how you should be in the Bushi.
Okay, now we have Devor, and he's asking about the delay on your recovery dodge. So watch this. When you do the light, heavy, and dodge, it's fine. Heavy, wait a second, dodge. Light, heavy, wait 2 seconds. You can't dodge after 2 seconds. So once your blade touches the ground, if you wait 2 seconds, then you can't dodge. So if you wait 1 second, you still have enough time to dodge. So just count it. See, watch the sword whenever it touches the ground. 1, 2, can't dodge. It dodges late. So one more time. 1, 2, dodge, fine. 1, 2, dodge, fine. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you dodge. It's late. If you wait 2 seconds when your sword touches the ground, you won't be able to dodge whenever you want to. So if that's the case, then what you should do is just back up if you don't see them throwing any attacks, so you won't eat any heavies or anything.
Okay, so the playstyles with Orochi that you can have is just the passive one. That's whenever someone's turtling you, don't be afraid to turtle back. So you just want to wait. And sometimes if nobody's gonna throw anything out, what you want to do is you want to bait them. So try to do a light to heavy feint, do a heavy feint, and a guard break. Try not to throw too many predictable attacks. Try to whiff more attacks. Use your storm rush. Try to use more heavies, and when you get a successful guard break, try to delay the light after the heavy. Try to, when you put your guard up, do a zone. When you put your guard to the left, or when you put your guard up, heavy feint and guard break. When you feel like you want to do a top light, do a top heavy and a guard break instead. So say I want to do a top light right now because the guard's right there. He's probably waiting for a parry. Might have caught his parry attempt right there. You gotta be careful on people like that. But then the more aggressive type play style, it's more like this. Something like that. That's more of an aggressive type play style. This, it's aggressive, but it's not like, you're not mixing it up. You're gonna get parried eventually and you're gonna lose. So you gotta keep on mixing your heavies and your lights together. Make sure you throw a bunch of heavy feints in the guard breaks. And just keep all that in mind. These are like some play styles you can have with Orochi. Hope this helped. Okay, so now we have Rash Top Dog. He wants to know how to play better in Breach and Dominion, get a higher win rate. For starters, here's how you should clear minions with Orochi. Just try to use your recovery dodge to do a dash forward light, 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 side dodge, light, 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 light. See, you keep going. You don't use that much stamina at all. And it's a quick way to clear minions, even in Breach. Maybe you should use your heavy more in Breach though on the pikemen. They have more health than these minions. Something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go over some ways to, or what you should do in 4v4 situations. Okay. So when you're getting ganked, try to block until you get your revenge. Always switch targets and use your recovery dodge a whole lot. As you can see, when you have more opponents, it's better to use more recovery dodge. But when you have like one opponent, try to fight them like you would in 1v1. You gotta switch between the two different modes.
Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in. This is the first half of the Orochi guide. I will answer the rest in the next video. So look forward to that. and I'll have some more montages out for you very soon. Thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide.